Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com, and in this week's ukulele lesson, we're going to be learning Fingerpicking Etude number 15. So this piece was inspired by Halloween, and what I wanted to do was write something that had the emotions of Halloween: spooky, mysterious, creepy. And the way that I accomplished, or at least I hope I accomplished, those feelings was by sprinkling in some tidbits of music that harken on those emotions. So let's talk about three elements that I put into this arrangement that gave us that overall vibe. The first is using tritones. Now, a tritone is an extremely dissonant interval. The distance between the first and the second note in this interval is 3 whole steps. So if I have a G note and I go up 3 whole steps, A, B, C sharp, so I have G and C sharp, this creates what's known as a tritone, which we can think of as an augmented fourth. It's a very, your ear, it wants to hear resolution. It wants to be resolved. Resolution. But we're not resolving it in this tune. We're just going to keep that anticipation, that oomph. So that's the first way. A second way that I did to get those kind of Halloween feeling is to put a lot of diminished runs in this piece. And that diminished really helps get that mood across as well. And the third way, and this is a really cool way, was to use the whole tone scale. And as the name implies, this is a scale that moves by whole steps. And it has a really eerie, spooky kind of sound, like mysterious. Right, so it's kind of like if you ever watch a space movie where they're looking outside and something scary is happening, they don't know what's going on, and it's like mysterious kind of vibe. That's what that whole tone scale kind of harkens that emotion. So those were 3 elements that I used: tritones, diminished runs, and whole tone scale. And that gave us this overall creepy, spooky Halloween vibe. So before we jump into learning how to play this piece, let's talk about this lesson real quick. So this lesson is going to be part 1, and in part 1, we're going to learn the first half of this tune. So we're going to learn the intro plus theme 1. If you guys want to learn theme number 2, we're going to be covering that in the part 2 lesson at rockclass101.com. So you can click this link right here, or go to the site and do a search for Fingerpicking Etude number 15. Now on that page, you'll be able to get the tabs that you can print off and follow along with as a PDF format, as well as access the on-screen tab viewer. Now this is a really cool feature where you can hit play, watch the tab scroll across in real time. You can highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish. Just a really great asset, and learning this song that much easier. Alright guys, let's go ahead and kick into this lesson. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the intro, and that is going to be in 2/4. And when we kick into theme 1, that's going to be in 6/8. So we just want to make sure that we understand the intro is in 2/4. Now, if you're new to understanding notation and rhythmic values, then I would recommend hitting pause, checking out this lesson, because we're going to be counting out rhythms as we go throughout this tune. So the second thing that I want to point out is some of the techniques that we're going to be using throughout this piece. One thing that is prominent is this 4-finger barrel roll strum. So it's also known as a rasguiado, just a 4-finger strum that goes pinky, ring, middle, index, and it gives us a real big, pronounced sound. Now that technique plus this other one called piccato, where we're going to be alternate picking between middle, index, middle for speed burst. You can see second, first, second, first, second, first. Those 2 techniques are taught in this lesson, La Gitanita. It's spelled Gitanita. They're going to be used, like I said, throughout this entire arrangement. So if you're new to those techniques, go check out that lesson. And by the way, if you want to work on those techniques, that is a really cool flamenco tune that you can learn as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this intro. Let me play the first part, and then we'll break it down and learn it. Okay, so there's the first bar. And we want to keep in mind that we're in 2/4. That first hit has a lot of notes. It has 6 notes. It's actually known as a sextuplet. So 6 hits per beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the next hit. Da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ba. You can hear that's our tritone right there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ba. Tritone. So that's the first thing you want to get in mind, is that this first run, this hammer-on pull-off run, is 6 equal notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you want them to be at the same length of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll go to our tritone hit, which will be a quarter, but it's also going to be a fermated quarter note. So we kind of just want to hold it out and sustain it for as long as we wish. There's not really, this intro really doesn't have to stick into or adhere to a strict tempo. It's kind of a tempo where you play by feel. So that's another thing you want to keep in mind. So this first little hits are going to be open A, hammer on to the first fret, hammer on to the second fret. So there's the first half of it. Oh, 1, 2. Then you're going to pull off to the first fret, pull off to the open A, and then you're going to hit the open G after that. So you really have 2 hits in this whole phrase. You have 1 pluck for this, oh, 1, 2, pull off, and then the second pluck, open G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so key is to keep those notes even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you have oh, 1, 2, 1, oh, oh. Okay, after that you're going to play this tritone. It's going to be the 4th and the 5th fret. So 4th fret on string 2, 5th fret on string 1. And you can see I'm using my middle and ring finger. You can put a little vibrato into that chord as well. It sounds really cool. And this is going to be on beat 2, but like I said, we're going to fermato this, so we can hold it out for as long as we want. So if we think of the first part, da 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 ba, da 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 da, you can hear that we just hold it out for as long as we wish. Okay? So if you're new to vibrato, by the way, if you're new to learning how to do vibrato, check out this lesson. So if we put that together, guys, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dum. Okay? Let's see if we can try that together. Ready, go. Oh, 1, 2, 1, oh, oh, pluck. Awesome. So this is going to go 2 times in a row. So the first 2 bars are identical. So let's see if we can run it twice in a row. I'm not trying to guide us because it's a play by feel type of intro. Here we go. Ready, go. Oh, 1, 2, 1, oh, oh, pluck. And again. Oh, 1, 2, 1, oh, oh, pluck. Okay. Now after this, we're into our 3rd bar, and our 3rd bar starts the same little hammer-on pull-off. After that, we have a movement going down that sounds like this. Really, really creepy and dissonance. And we're actually ending on an augmented 5th. Well, this chord has a 5th plus a sharp 5. So it's a C5 with a sharp 5. And the 5 and the sharp 5, they're a G and a G sharp note. That is known as a flat 9. They're a half step apart, G and G sharp. If you play those 2 notes together, technically it's taught in music school as incorrect. But rules are always meant to be broken. And when you put those 2 notes together, you get what's known, like I said, as a flat 9. It's a half step apart, and it's the most out of tune sound that you can get from an in-tune instrument. And it really has the most dissonance that you can get. And it works so beautifully, get the pun, for this type of music that we're playing, creepy. Okay, so we're throwing in the flat 9 as well as the tritones. So we get tons of dissonance out of this little intro run. So let's go back and let me play bar 3 and 4 together so we can kind of understand the context of this part a little bit better. So it sounds like this. So you can hear da 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 ba ba bum. So those are all going to be quarter note hits, but again, it's real loose on the timing. You don't really have to adhere to the tempo. So play it by feel, really. So let's take a look at what's happening. So remember, this starts the same. All that's the same. And then we're going to go up to 8 and 9, same fingering, 2 and 3. Pluck the open G along with it. After that, I want you to lift the ring finger up, go down a half step. So you're going to go to the 7th fret of string 2 and use your index finger this time on the 6th fret of string 1. You're going to pluck the open G along with it. So you have open G, skipping, we're ignoring string 3, 7 on string 2, 6 on string 1. Keep this shape intact, and I want you to go down a step and a half, so that means that we are now on 4 and 3. So open, 4, 3, again ignoring string 3. And that'll be our last hit. So you probably just want to hit pause and work on that movement. So you had open 8, 9, and then you had open 7, 6, and then open 4, 3. Okay? And when you put it together, you have ba da 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 dum ba bum bum. So let's see if we can try that together. This is bar 3 and 4. And here we go. Ready, go. Ba da 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 dum ba bum bum. Let's try it again slower. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pluck, pluck, pluck. And this last hit, we can hold it for as long as we want until we have that little cascading lick that kicks us into theme 1. All right, so before we try that cascading lick, let's just recap the first 4 bars. Remember, bar 1 and 2 are identical, so it's just the same thing played twice. So you had that and then again. Okay, and then that same little pull-off, hammer-on pull-off lick. And then our little walk down. Ba, dum, dum, fermata that. So if we try everything together, and I'll try and guide us. Here we go. Ready, go. And again. And again. Ba, bum, bum. Okay, so our cascading lick again sounds like this. So we have straight 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So pretty simple from a rhythmic standpoint. So take your pinky, put it on 9 on string 1, and you're going to pull off to the index, which is 6 on string 1. After that, I want you to play 7 on string 2 with the middle finger, and then the open A. So you got to lift that finger up. So you have 1 E and a. Okay, after this, the second half is going to be open G, and then you can use the index finger for the 2nd fret of string 2, pull off to the open E, and then the last note with the middle finger, 3rd fret, string 3. So if you look at that second half, you have open G, 2 to 0 on string 2, and then 2nd finger on 3 on string 3. So we have 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So you notice that beat 2, that open G, buys you enough time to move your hand down to grab those last few notes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Okay, so let's try that one together slow. Ready, slow. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and see if we can cover all 5 bars for this intro. And again, I'll try and guide us, and we'll see if we can go real slow. Here we go. Ready, slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pluck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pluck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ba dum ba. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I counted it as 8th notes, it's supposed to be 16th notes, but you get the idea. So that covers our intro, and I'm going to play it one time through without calling it out. Remember, this is all filled, so you don't have to stick to any kind of rhythm, so just play it by ear. And it sounds a little like this. So that gives you a basic gist of how it's supposed to sound. And remember, music is always up to the interpreter. That's you. So take it and make it your own. You know, if you want to play a slow tempo, if you want to hold notes out longer, if you want to space it out, that kind of thing, then it's always up to you guys. So take what I'm teaching you as the base and then, you know, embellish it and make it your own. All right, let's go ahead and jump into theme one. Theme one's going to have those techniques that I highlighted. So remember, check out that lesson on La Gitanita if you're new to the 4-finger strum roll, and as well if you're new to picado technique, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, alternate picking. So that's what the first bar sounds like. So let's go ahead and break down what's happening. You can see that we're starting with an E minor, but with one difference. Instead of the staircase E minor, just lift that middle finger up and it introduces an open E. So we're going to do a little rasguiado strum on this first part. Now, let me go ahead and put up the tab for this first bar, and I want to point out something about how we're going to count this out. So you can first see that we're in 6/8, and that means that we're going to be counting each measure as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if you look at that first hit that I pointed out, it's got that little squiggly line with the rasguiado strum. You can clearly see that's an eighth note. Instead of counting it like an eighth note, we're going to double all of these rhythms. So anytime you see an eighth note, we're going to count it as if it was a quarter note. Anytime you see a 16th note, we're going to count it as if it was an eighth note. So if you look at this first part, we're going to count it like this. We're going to count 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. So there's the first bar. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. Okay? That's going to be a way easier way to count it and to comprehend all these rhythms. So in essence, in a nutshell, we're literally just doubling it. So again, anytime you see an eighth, you count it as a quarter. Anytime you see a 16th note, you count it as an eighth. All right, so let's jump back into learning. So make that E minor without the middle finger, and we're going to do rasguiado strum. After that, we have the picados on the first string. So we're going to go 2, 2, 2. So 3 times, right? 2, 2, 2. And then take the middle, put it down on the 3rd fret of string 1, and then lift it up and pluck again. So you have strum 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. After that, we're going to follow it up with the open G and the open A. So for my right hand picking approach, I'm really kind of alternating between a 3 and a 4-finger picking approach. So 4 fingers is pretty simple to grasp. Each finger gets its own string. But with 3 fingers, your thumb would get string 4 and 3, index would get string 2, middle would get string 1. So if you're new to 4 and 3 finger picking approach, check out this course that I wrote that covers when to know to use 4 finger, when to use 3 finger, based off the context of the music you're playing. So for this one, I'm bouncing between both approaches, and I'm throwing in picado to grab that speed for that first string, da 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 da, that first string run, that melody run. So it's kind of like a bit of a hybrid between all approaches. So I've got strum 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, and then you can see I'm going to use my thumb for 4 and then my ring for the open A, as if it was back to 4-finger approach. So I have rasguiado, picado, thumb, ring. So that's what I'm doing for the right hand for this first part. If we count that rhythm just like we highlighted, we have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's see if you and I can try that first bar together. Here we go. 4, 5, go. Strum 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. Okay, again, slower. 4, 5, 6. Strum 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. If I'm going any bit too fast, then check out this little YouTube directions to slow it down. Now here's the cool thing, bar 2 is identical to bar 1. So let's run it 2 times in a row. We got the first 2 bars. Here we go. 4, 5, go. Strum 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. Strum 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. Okay, so here's bar 3. The first half is identical. But you hear the melody at the end goes a little higher and walks down. So the first part, identical, strum 2 and 3 and then for the last part, 4, 5, 6, we're gonna go 5 on string 1 to 3 to 2. Okay? So you can see index stays anchored and I'm just playing out of this box 2 to 5. So frets 2 to 5, each finger gets its own fret. Okay? So let's see if we can try bar 3 together. 4, 5, go. Strum 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Now our 4th bar goes down and sounds like this. So we're into this diminished and it's really, really cool, the little second half, which is a pull off walk down. So here's the chord that we're playing out of. It's an E diminished 7. Very simple one to grasp. So we're going to use the index for the first fret of string 3, middle for the first fret of string 1. The other 2 strings are open. Okay, so from this, I would suggest to leave out the rascal strum, just do a regular strum. Gives it a little difference from the other parts, so just a regular strum. And then we're going to follow up with 2 and 3 and... Okay, so same piccato follow-up after, so we have 1, 2, and 3, and... So what's happening is I'm going strum, then 1, 1, 1, 2. So 3 hits on 1, just like before, where we had 3 hits, and then up a half. Strum, 1, 1, 1, 2, calling out frets. So if I call out the rhythm, I have strum, 2, and 3, and... So let's see if we can try that first half together. So we have 4, 5, go. Strum, 2, and 3, and... Okay, for our second half, we're going to lift these 2 fingers up, take that ring, move it up a half step. So now you're on the 3rd fret. You're going to do a pull-off lick. It's going to go 3, 2, 0, and then on string 2, the same thing. 3, 2, 0. So you pluck once for these pull-offs. 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0. And that rhythm is going to be 4 and 5 and 6 end. 4 and 5 and 6 end. So together for that 4th bar you have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6 end. So pretty much is carrying through with that 8th note. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6 end. Okay? So let's see if we can try that 4th bar together. A really cool one. Here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6 end. Nice. Now let's backtrack. Let's try bar 3 to 4, and then we're going to try 1 to 4. So here we go. 3 and 4. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and... Nice. Now let's try a little bit slower. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and... And if we backtrack 1 through 4, 4, 5, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and... Awesome. So here's the cool thing. After that, you're going to have quite a bit of repetition. So our next bar, our 5th bar, is identical to the 1st bar. So you're back to playing the same thing. And when we get to our 6th bar, we have a variation. So it sounds like this. So our melody is going higher and then walking back down. So as we saw before when we had a little variation, the first half is identical. So you're playing out of E minor, strum, 2, 2, 2, 3, and then here's our little variation. You're going to take the pinky, pluck 5 and slide up to 7. Use the middle finger to grab 5, and then the index to go back to 2. Okay, so you have strum, 2, 2, 2, 3, variation, put the pinky down, 5 to 7, back to 5, and then to 2. So the rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. So that slide occurs over 4. So let's see if we can try that bar together. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. Strum, 2, 2, 2, 3, slide, 5, 2. Okay, when you get there, keep that index finger anchored and then put the ring back, and you're going to play the 7th bar, which is actually the same as the 1st and the 2nd and the 5th bar. Okay, but before we tackle that or cover the 7th bar again, let's just go back and let's do 5 and 6 together. So here we go. 4, 5, 6. Strum, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, oh, oh. Strum, 2, 2, 2, 3, slide, 5, 2. Okay, so again, 7th bar is the same. Strum, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, oh, oh. And the 8th bar, you guessed it, is the same. That E diminished 7. With those same little walk down, pull off. Same as we covered. So let's do 7 and 8 together, then we'll do 5 through 8. Here we go. 7, 8. 4, 5, 6. Strum, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, oh, oh, diminish. Da 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 ba da da ba da dum. Okay, now let's see if we can try 5 through 8. Here we go. 4, 5, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and... Okay, now let's backtrack. Let's see if we can go 1 through 8. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 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 4, and 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and... Awesome. So what happens after this is that we have a diminished run that walks up the neck, and then we're going to vamp between a diminished and a dominant chord, and that will occur for the next 4 bars. So there's only 6 bars left for theme 1. Let me play the first 2, which is the diminished run walking up the neck, and then we'll break it down and learn it. So it sounds like this. Okay, so let's break that one down and learn it. It's not too hard. You can already hear the rhythm stays constant throughout. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that carries on throughout. So we're going to kick off on the same E diminished 7. So we're back to the same shape. That's going to be our first hit. So we're going to have a strum, and then we're going to play string 4, string 1, string 4. So this pattern of strum 4, 1, 4, that's going to be for every hit as we walk up. So we have strum 4, 1, 4, strum 4, 1, 4, strum 4, 1, 4, strum 4, 1, 4. So it happens 4 times in a row. So just get that memorized, and this will be super easy because all you have to focus on is the left hand changing chords. So let's try the first one together. So we have strum 4, 1, 4. And it's up to you too if you want to do a regular strum or if you want to do rasgato strum. So I'll leave it up to you for the call for this hit. So let's try that together. 1, 2, go. Strum 4, 1, 4. Okay, after this, lift the middle finger up, put your pinky on the 4th fret of string 1, and leave the index where it is. So this will be our next hit, G diminished 7. So again, same hits, guys. Strum 4, 1, 4. Okay, so let's see if we can try strum 4, 1, 4, strum 4, 1, 4. Let's see if we can do that one together. Here we go. 1, 2, go. Strum, 4, 1, 4, strum, 4, 1, 4. You can see from my right hand, I'm back to bouncing with that 4-finger approach, where thumb would be string 4, ring would be string 1. All right, so let's look at our next bar. So we left off on 1 and 4, so we're gonna go up a step and a half. So we're gonna go to 4 and 7. So same fingering, and this will give us our next movement in the diminished walk up. So it's gonna be B flat diminished 7. So for this one, we're carrying on the same thing. So we have strum, 4, 1, 4, and let's tackle the last hit as well. So going up again, a step and a half. So every diminished movement always moves up by a step and a half. So now we're on 7 and 10 for the last hit. Okay, so one thing you may want to do is just practice this chord transitions. So you can put it into a time context, something simple like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're just practicing that transition, that movement, because it's really tricky to move fingers and keep them when you move up so they don't go into the wrong frets. So take something like that as a great way to practice getting the muscle memory down so you can transition smoothly and without having to think about it. So let's tackle this second bar for this walk up. So this is technically bar 10 in the piece. So again, we're on 4 and 7. So we have strum, 4, 1, 4, then up to 7, 10, strum, 4, 1, 4. Let's give that a shot. 4, 5, 6, strum, 4, 1, 4, strum, 4, 1, 4. Nice, and if we backtrack, let's see if we can try the entire 4-chord movement going up. So starting on E diminished 7, we have 4, 5, 6, strum, 4, 1, 4, strum, 4, 1, 4, strum, 4, 1, 4, strum, 4, 1, 4. Something cool that you can do is you can kind of build the dynamic as well for that section. You can start softer, start to go a little harder with your strum, just to build that dynamic. So try that, and I think it sounds really cool because you can kind of climax, hit the hardest on that section that's coming next. So it just helps to elevate the expression in the piece to climax on that section that we're about to jump into. So as you hear, it's really just a vamp between 2 chords. So we have this E flat diminished 7 going, if we move this index finger down a half step, then it becomes a dominant. So it's literally between 2 chords, this one and this one. And you can see the difference between the 2 chords is literally 1 note. It's the index finger going down a half step. So let's learn both of those chords. So the first one's a bit of a finger frenzy. It's kind of like a finger jam. Index is on 8, string 4, ring 9, string 3, middle finger 8, string 2, pinky 9, string 1. 1, 3, 2, 4, 8, 9, 8, 9. So that gives us our first chord, which is E flat diminished 7, and then our next chord is going to be D7. So all you have to do is take that index finger, drop it down a half step, so it's on the 7th fret of string 4. The other fingers stay constant. So now you have 7, 9, 8, 9. Same fingering, 1, 3, 2, 4. So again, just practice that change. Put it in the time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's a lot easier to do. And that's all that's going to happen for the next 4 bars. The next 4 bars, it's just going between those 2 chords. So here's the first of those 4 bars. Sounds like this. Okay, so I chose to put a little raschiato strum. You can strum regular if you want, though. Again, up to you. So we're going to go raschiato strum, and then we're going to pluck 9, 9, 9. So string 1 3 times. So we're starting on the diminished. Strum 9, 9, 9. And then drop that index finger down a half step to the D7, strum 9, 9, 9. So our rhythm was the same as that walk up where you had 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so very simple. We're keeping that same rhythmic theme continuing throughout. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so here's the cool thing is that this bar is going to get repeated again. So the next bar is identical. So let's run it 2 times in a row. So here we go. 4, 5, 6. Strum, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Strum, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now for our last 2 bars, we're still moving between those 2 chords, but our rhythm and our hits are going to change. So it sounds a little bit like this. So if I count out for that first bar, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're back to just playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those little quarter note hits, right? So back to E flat diminished 7. We're gonna go strum 4, 1, and then move down to D7, strum 4, 1. Okay, let's give that a shot. Ready, go. Strum 4, 1, strum 4, 1. Okay, now the last bar, going back to E flat diminished 7, we're back to the same strum 2 and 3, so strum 9, 9, 9, and then move down to D7 of course, and you're back to strum 4, 1. Okay, so nice little variation right there. So that last bar, strum 9, 9, 9, strum 4, 1. Okay, let's try that together. Last bar, 4, 5, go. Strum 9, 9, 9, strum 4, 1. Okay, let's try those 2 bars together, the 2 last bars. 4, 5, 6. Strum 4, 1, strum 4, 1, strum 9, 9, 9, strum 4, 1. Awesome. And let's try those last 4 bars that vamp between these 2 chords together. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. Strum 9, 9, 9, strum 9, 9, 9, strum 9, 9, 9, strum 9, 9, 9, strum 4, 1, strum 4, 1, strum 9, 9, 9, strum 4, 1. Awesome, and that's going to conclude theme 1. So let's recap this second half. We're going to start from that little walk up and play till where we just ended. So these are the last 6 bars of the tune, and then we're going to try everything for theme 1. So here we go, last 6. 4, 5, go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. And let's see if we can go through everything. So the entire theme 1. So I'm going to go ahead and play through it and see if we can count out as we go along. So here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 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 4, and 5, and 6. And 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. And 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So quite a lot to tackle, but as you see, there's so much repetition that it actually makes it easy, and those variations make it easy as well because a lot of it is based off what you already know. So guys, that's going to conclude everything for this lesson. So we're about halfway through, and in the part 2 lesson, we're going to kick off on theme number 2. So guys, if you want to learn the second half, click this link right here, or just go to the site, rockclass101.com, do a search for Fingerpicking Etude number 15. And don't forget that the tabs and that on-screen tab viewer, that interactive tab player where you can highlight bars, loop sections, slow it down, all of that's going to be available on that page. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you in the part 2 one. Take care.